Good evening, my name is Skelly Zombieman and welcome to this MRT News channel, Alert M Box News Special Report, the General Staff Meeting. Next, I'd like to say hello. Fumble about to come to the podium to speak for the public portion of the March 2018 General Staff Meeting, which was short. It lasted less than 2.5 hours, which is short compared to other General Staff meetings, and we will show Fumble's speech shortly.
Can anyone hear me?
Yep.
As you can see, members are enjoying the TNT that they have now been able to acquire now under the new permission set by Fumble 2 weeks ago.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
We can hear you the first.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Confirm that my microphone is
Actually, we
working.
can't.
Could anyone confirm that my microphone is working as it should?
Yes, your microphone is working, Autobus.
Yep, I can hear you.
Starting to feel unsure now.
Kelly, this game is really close, actually. C and Tamer.
Yoshi, why did you respond in voice channel?
Because you didn't seem to hear us the first 5 times.
Sorry. My bad. Thanks.
Invading.
That's a war crime.
Thank you, Numbers Guy OW, for the follow and the bits. That's the second time you give me a nickel, so
Public
thanks for that.
portion stuff.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
I rumble.
Your voice sounds
Hello?
different.
For some reason, I can't... Huh. For some reason, I can't hear anybody. So let
Hello?
me see. There's something wrong here. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go. Yeah, Discord is weird sometimes. It you move to a different channel and doesn't do it. Anyway, I'm already streaming right now on my Twitch channel, and here are the announcements for the public portion. Thanks for everyone for coming, and let's get on with it. So, All right. First off, I have an update about some of the staff members. As you probably all know, H&T has submitted his official resignation as moderator. He does have other real life stuff to on his plate right now. So it's unlikely that he'll be on the server very much as well. He has stated. So please let H&T know if you haven't said goodbye to him. Also, in addition to this, with regards to the status of Ortum and Amercon, who are currently quite inactive and have not been very active for the last few months, I am not going to demote them at the moment for inactivity, but I am setting a deadline by the next GSM, that'll be in April, that if they're not active by then they will be demoted at that time. I have emailed both of them. I did get a response from Amercon stating that he intends to become active, but he doesn't have any specific date about that. And I have not received a response from Ortum. So you guys can listen. You guys can hear me fine in Discord and in chat or in Twitch.
Gotcha.
Okay, just making sure, because
I hear you.
I don't want to be talking to nobody and have to say this all again. Actually, I also have another announcement regarding new moderators. We discussed them in another portion, and we will be actually that is what section 2 is in the agenda, just so you know. So we have decided that we will be asking 2 players to become, if they would like to become trial mods. Neither of those players are online at the moment, so I cannot give their identity right now. Again, also we are asking those players. So they do have if they feel that they are not up to the task or they're too busy, then they do have the option to decline the promotion. So when we do get word that they have accepted the promotion, if they accept the promotion, then we will let you know. Okay, so that's all about staff members for the time being. Next up is discussion about transit hub versus railway station. Basically, the definition of what a transit hub is. And this was a topic from the last GSM. We have decided that okay, well, let's go back here. So on our official ranks page, there is no mention about a restriction on transit hubs, but in the very original website post, when these rules were changed, it did say counselors and above would be only allowed to build transit hubs. So basically, we're restricting transit hubs to counselors and above. I will say that starting from today, this restriction will be lifted. So that means any transit hubs will be allowed at any rank. However, we will be monitoring this, and we will still strongly encourage players to build train stations or bus stations or whatever combination thereof. These transit hubs need to be within a realistic size in reflection of the town that they serve. So, for example, if you have a small town, we probably don't want to see a large train junction in there, because it doesn't, especially if it's larger than the town itself. So we're not going to penalize you on it, but do know that if you are trying to go for any sort of promotions or to like the council or mayor, that will not reflect well on your town. So please keep that in mind. So yeah, once again, the restriction on transit hubs is being lifted. We will be monitoring, and if we find that people are abusing this, then we will revisit this at a later date. Next up, Mindman did bring the staff bring attention to the staff to some very large land scars in a couple places. We will be One of them is near EN12, and the other one, I believe, is some areas near Jianghua, and I don't know where the other one was. Man, do you remember where the other one was?
It was somewhere around St. Anna.
St. Anna? Okay. So these areas, we are going to attempt, at least admins will attempt to regenerate the chunks in these areas to return them to at least their natural state. If that doesn't work very well, then Castle and some other mods will try to help out in terraforming these areas manually. So
The one
okay.
by St. Anne is already done.
Okay. Moving on to 1D, we did have a proposal from Seppi-kun to name ocean number 20. That's the very large ocean in the southeast. To what's the name of it? I'm trying to look it up. Kanimare Ocean. We are going to defer this. I would like Seppi-kun to, considering how large that water body is, I would like Seppi-kun to go talk to the mayors of other towns in that area, or towns that are surrounding that ocean, and see if they agree with this name. If they number 20, yes, that is a very large ocean in the southeast. So yeah, so we are not going to name that ocean until we have at least some sort of approval from other mayors there. Okay, next up.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
that
sorry.
one. That one was the one that wasn't. No, was that one named? I'll double check.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that one has been named. That one is named Equinox Ocean already.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
That one already has a name.
Well, never mind then. Anyway, cool. Moving on. So as people on the Twitch stream will probably know, I did do a Friendly Friday session. It's a kind of a session basically on Fridays I do like a multiplayer game with LD and other people. We did do a session playing Open TTD, or also known as Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. And that server that we played on was actually hosted on the same machine where all the other all the other MRT services are running on. So that includes the Minecraft server, the websites, the wiki, all that good stuff. So my intention is to eventually open this server to the public and to basically for the community to use. And yeah, this is going to be a public portion topic, I think, because I did initially ask the staff to see if they had any opinions about this, but apparently none of them have really played, which is quite surprising considering it's a transport game. But so basically later on in the Q&A and open floor, if you have any opinions about how this Open TDD server should be run, specifically around like settings, how large the map should be, if there should be any limitations, if there are any sort of rules. I will say that all the general rules that apply on our server, on the Minecraft server and everywhere else on Discord, those will still apply on the Open TDD server when it opens. But in terms of construction rules and all that, I have no idea or no any sort of expertise on that. So if you have any suggestions about that, please let me know. I hope to open that open the Open TDD server by maybe next month at the very earliest. So okay, next up, scheduling the Dyn map render. We're probably in for another full Dyn map render of the New World pretty soon. We want to try to get it done before the summer comes in, where everyone is out of school and out of college and all that sort of stuff. And that's probably going to happen. That rush is probably going to start around in the month of May. So we're going to try to schedule this Dyn map render around late April, May, depending on how things go. We'll have a more specific date, maybe by the April GSM. Once again, the New World Dyn map render, if you don't know, it does take several days to complete. So, and while it's running, you will expect some lag, some less than optimal server performance. So we want to try to do this within sometime during the middle of the week rather than the weekends. So just a heads up for you guys there. Next up, we had a proposal from Minecrafter_11 with regards to firework permissions. We did explain to Minecrafter why we have restricted fireworks to trustee. We are going to be leaving these. We are going to still leave these restrictions in place because it is potentially a security issue, because there are ways to use fireworks in a very lethal way to the server, or it causes a significant lag. So bringing it down to member rank is not advised. To help people basically to help anyone who's still at the member and citizen ranks to get around the server, we will be trying to add more prominent signage at spawn to the welcome center, where there are plenty of warps that can be chosen to get around the server. So we're going to try to do that to at least get those people to get more accessibility to other places. Next up, we have a proposal from Soso123, basically making a suggestion to make regarding premiers and the cultural significant portion of it. He has proposed that he would like to see landmarks become a much more prominent aspect of reviewing premier cities. This has been denied. Personally, I don't see the point of it. And also, landmarks are usually built at the governor rank anyway. So if you, what I will say that though is, if you have a city that you are considering for the premier rank at some point, when you do submit it, there is a little text box or little area where you can write down any additional notes. So if you do feel that your city relies more heavily on landmarks or more heavily on some other aspect that us as staff may miss or may not see, please note them down in those notes, and we will take those into consideration.
Because we do look at them.
Yes, we do look at them. Okay. Next up is 2 topics from Gods regarding the server-funded events. There was a discussion. There was some concern about, and I am going to point out a recent event, the one by Talon Plays, with regards to the golf tournament. It was discovered, or at least, well, discovered is not the best word, but I was informed. We were informed that in addition to the funds that were given to him from the server, he did also take in sponsorship. Corporate sponsorship money, of which there were no rules against. There was nothing technically wrong there against the rules, but it was additional funds that I believe he did not use within the competition. So going forward, we will be saying that if you are submitting, if you do submit an event, please specify not only what funds you are requesting from the server, but also also state if you are going to be doing corporate sponsorships or taking money from other players for exchange of services or goods. And if you are doing that, please let us know what you're going to be using that money for. Ideally, we would like to see that money go back into the event, so for example for prizes. But this could also apply to, for example, renting out space for like sporting events or big arenas or theaters, that sort of thing. So basically, essentially, TLDR, we just want a transparent allocation of where you're getting your money and how you're going to be spending it if you are doing an event. So please keep that in mind when you submit an event in the future. Next up is another topic from Gods. Yeah, so there will be a rule change with regards to this. Yeah, there was there was an incident early today where I think Fred was trying to auction off a MRT station, which I will say explicitly that should not be allowed. But we will be changing one of the rules to try to cover this. So there is a rule within our I believe it's our construction rules or one of those sections where it does say claimed areas that have not been built after 2 weeks will become unclaimed. We are changing the wording of this rule. The wording is now going to say claimed areas that have not been built upon substantially after 2 weeks will become unclaimed. So basically, if you have built a little, like a sidewalk or like a path or like a small portion of road, that would fall under this and would not be counted as substantial development and would become unclaimed after 2 weeks. So this is a very slight change. It probably won't apply to most of you. Mostly apply to people who are just starting off towns. But we have seen a lot of a lot of players who try to start new towns, like especially near MRT stations, where they just start building a road or a little pathway, and nothing is done with it. So. Oh, and finally, one last thing that was kind of tacked on to the section 1 is a little status update about the beta server. My plan is right now is we're going to go forward with 2 plugins. One of them is Citizens, which is already on the beta server and is still subject to staff testing. And the other one I'm going to be installing is Discord SRV, which we have tested before. It is the plugin that allows for communication between the Minecraft server and Discord. So I will be trying, hopefully, if I have enough time, I'll try to get that set up by the end of the month. And by beginning of April, I hope, the server will be opened up to the public for general testing. And of course, people griefing, of course, because that's what people do. I can't stop people there. And then
that's the point of the beta server.
Yeah, unfortunately. And hopefully by the end of April or sometime then, I will be, if everything goes well and the testing goes well, then we will be installing those things onto the main server. We're bringing those on board. There are other plugins. There are other plugins that we want to test, such as async world edit, which allows for essentially, at least basically allows for world edit to not prevents world edit from lagging the server whenever a big one happens. And there's some other plugins as well. But because of the scope of Citizens and considering how big a change it will be, especially with all the introduction of entities and people on the server, then we're going to just try to keep the scope of this update just to those 2 plugins. So don't hold me to those deadlines. Again, it's all based on how much time I have. But my plan right now is to try to get this out by April. Okay, so skipping section 2, I've already explained what section 2 was. Moving on to exciting and amazing, and oh boy, the best topic ever, roads. Section
Yay!
Boo. Okay. So fortunately, there are only 2 roads, so I guess you can cheer about that. So first road we're going to talk about is B431, proposed by CCC 9. This road, explanation of where it goes. Where is this? It connects the A4. It has to go through P20, which is an abandoned town. This has been approved. Basically, he's basically building a B road from the A4 to his town, but he has to go through another abandoned town. So that one has been approved. And the other town in this meeting is A230, the last phase of this road. Excuse me, this road is the one that is in the northeast. It connects up with DA2, I believe. Is that the right name of that road? Yep. So that's the one that goes all the way up to Verdantium. So this phase 3, connects up that whole section with the rest of the road network, I believe, or at least up to whatever station that is on the Eastern Line. That is EN18, owned by Super Builder, and he does have permission from that player. So yes, that road will be connected. So basically, both roads have been approved.
Real quick before we jump into the next section, Gods wants us to clarify one extra thing about the transit hub rule change. Just a reminder that you can't edit or rename an MRT station until your town becomes mayor rank. So that rule is still in force. So even though, you're, as of right now, you're allowed to build a transit hub as a separate structure at any rank. If you want to integrate the MRT station as a part of that, you have to be mayor rank to do that.
Okay, cool. All right, moving on to section 4 regarding auctions. 4A, Modern Art has requested that the town of Izumo be given back to him. It is currently owned by Verncow, who has been inactive for at least 3 months. We are going to approve this. However, we would like to again strongly encourage Modern Art to stick with this town. If he does not, then we are not going to be so keen on giving him any other towns in the future. So that has been approved. Next one is 4B, proposed by Lithium. He wants ownership of Ben Warp Rail as well as the MRT phone network. Honestly, his request was not very clear. Unfortunately, there's a language barrier. So this has been denied. And then for C, with regards to proposed by basically WooRich999 is requesting ownership of Yer Air, which used to be owned by Technological 99, who is also inactive. This has been approved, considering that is an inactive airline. And now on to section 5. There is only one premier city up for review. That is the city of Kessler, made by Lalaboy. Well, honestly, I thought frankly, this city should have gotten premier last year when we consider it, but I could not persuade the other staff because they were so hung up on interior decorations. But now we will be promoting Kessler to the premier rank this time around. Unfortunately, there is no speech at the moment from Lalaboy. So next time you see Lalaboy, please harass him to write a speech and tell him to submit it to the staff. And we will post that as part of the GSM results. Please don't wake him up. Don't do that. Okay, they're going on to the last topics here in section 6. If you recall, first up is the Mason City Activity Review. This is basically, if you recall, there was an agreement where we initially gave H&T the ownership of Mason City, but because he is leaving the server, based on prior agreements, we will be giving this city now to Alfie Pops. So Alfie Pops, if you're in the server right now, that city is now yours. So feel free to do what you would like with it. Next up, a question regarding, since H&T is leaving, he was also the caretaker of Whitechapel, which is Frozen, a former administrator's town. A lot of people have expressed their interest in taking care of this city. What we will be doing also, the plan is, basically, is we do know that Mindbender 15 has already been doing some caretaking duties, at least just for the airport, the Whitechapel Sky Harbor Airport. We will be asking him to see if he would like to expand his ownership of that and maybe take on full caretaker duties of the whole city. So we will be asking him if he would be interested in that. Also, we will be consulting H&T if he has any opinions on who should be the caretaker. So yeah, so we don't have any decisions at the moment. We will be talking to a couple people, but for the time being, Whitechapel is without a caretaker at the moment. Okay, next up, we do have a review regarding V21. The prior agreement here was if regarding Aldranster 50's request of taking this town. We did give him an ultimatum saying that if he expanded from his existing town at V22 northward, then we would be more inclined to give the town to him. But unfortunately, what we've seen is what we've seen so far is we have not seen that sort of development. So therefore, V21 will be up for general auction at the next GSM. So once again, V21 will be up for general auction. If you would like to request it, please email staff before the deadline of the next GSM. And finally, the date of the next GSM is actually confirmed. The date of it will be Saturday, April 14th. So please note that down in your calendars. And 14th, 18th. Whoops. Sorry. Wait, is it 18? Nope, April 14th. 14. Broadcast, you're wrong. Broadcast, you're wrong. There you go. Bad broadcast. Yes, it will be a Saturday this time around. Thank goodness. All right. So that is all the announcements I have at the moment. So yeah, now it is time for the open floor and Q&A. Once again, I will remind you guys regarding the open TDD server. I am open for any suggestions or comments. If you want, you can also email me directly on my MRT email address if you want to instead write those suggestions down there. But I will be open to any questions. But yeah, again, this is the open floor and Q&A portion of the public portion. Any sort of questions, comments, concerns regarding any of the topics that we've discussed so far or that I've announced or anything else, please, yeah, basically how this works. If you have a question or if you would like to speak, please PM me in-game or say so in Twitch chat or say so in the voice channel on Discord. I will be watching all three of these areas, so please let me know. I also have to note down who wants to talk. Okay. Okay, so I got 5 people who have PM'd me. You can see it on screen on there. Looks like we have a bunch of people just cheering in Twitch chat. Good job, Woo Rich. I don't know why you added Pikachu there. And I'll check on Discord right now. Oh, Ninja042, got you there. Okay, you don't necessarily have to be on Discord. You can just PM me the question, but I will call on you. When I do call on you, please be prepared to PM me the question, PM me what you want to say, or on Discord. So, okay, Ruich. Ruich has a question regarding the OpenTDD server. His question is, will you have online content on the OpenTDD server? I actually don't know what that is because I'm very new to configuring the server. Would you mind explaining, Woo Rich, what that is? Assuming you're on Discord here. I'm looking at all 3 areas. But yeah, basically, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what on-client content is. Is it like mods or something on OpenTDD?
Yeah, they're like playing. They're like, yeah, just modded stuff.
Is that something I have to install on the server myself, or is that something that players can do on the fly?
I think you have to install it.
Okay, so let's just say for now, we'll start off with a vanilla OpenTD server and see how that goes. Yeah, because I don't want to fiddle around with online content just yet. If I have more time and learn more about how to configure the server, then we can consider that later. I will also mention that the server itself will probably, like the map itself will probably wipe and refresh maybe every few months or so, because I don't think it'll be something we can keep persistent for all time. So it'll be just something for people to play around on for the time being. I should also mention that if configuring an OpenTD server is very difficult, because the documentation for that thing is god awful, I have to say. Like, I tried looking at the config file and it had no explanations for a lot of settings. So yeah, so it'll take me a while. That's all I'm gonna say there. Ald Ranster has a question regarding your road. Unfortunately, Ald Ranster, we did give you about a month to expand toward that town, and we haven't seen anything. So, unfortunately, that time has passed. That V21 will be going for general auction, like it or not. So. Okay, moving on let's go on to Fred. Fred, you have some questions about, I'm guessing, the OpenTD server? Feel free to PM me in game or somewhere. I'm trying to look at all 3 different places, so. Fred? Just waiting on Fred here. Or Fred, if you're on Discord too, that can work as well. Okay, Fred, you got 5 seconds. Oh, there we go. Well, Fred's question is, for the OpenTD server, what will be the settings of the map? That's my question. That's what I'm asking you guys. So, because again, I'm a total newbie at setting up these sort of servers. So if you have any preferences or any sort of suggestions, then I'm open to considering it. But I think for the first map, it'll probably be a generic, like just a regular terrain map. I'm not sure how large the map should be. I could probably go for a maximum size and see how that goes. I think it's like 2048 by 2048, I believe. So, yeah. But yeah, right now the settings are kind of up in the air. Ald Ranger says, if it's still up for auction, then will I be eligible to bid for? I mean, you could, but again, the point of general auction is to give it to someone else. So. Okay, Grumpy Goomba, I got you on my queue here, so don't worry about that. Alfie Pops. Oh, I'll answer Alfie Pop's question here. His question is, what are the restrictions on me changing existing builds and building new ones in Mason City? I would encourage you to try to keep existing builds if you can. There's definitely no restriction on building any new buildings. Like, you can definitely expand it and do what you want with it. But I would encourage you to try to keep as many of the existing buildings as possible. So. Okay, Cortezi, regarding your email, I did get that email. I will be setting it up on my own because I have set it up before. So, yeah, your config, while it's nice that you sent it, it's not really needed at the moment. So, Autobus is next up. And I don't think he's in Discord right now, so I will wait for a PM somewhere.
Hello, does this work now?
Yes, it does. Okay, hello, Otto. It is your turn. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear absolutely.
Hello? Hello? Test, test, test.
Just saying, I cannot hear you at all, but I can apparently talk, so. Can I suggest that cargo desk be turned on for the server, which is basically pathfinding for the passengers and goods?
What is the setting called? Cargo. There's probably a Twitch delay.
Cargo desk.
Cargo. How do you spell that? Cargo desk. Oh, I see. I got it. Okay, I will look into that. Thanks for the suggestion, and I will see if I can enable that on the server. Again, I'm not sure when that server will be open, but hopefully the next month or so. Okay, cool. Court, I'm just going to read your message here. Okay, I will again consult H&T about the status of Whitechapel Cortese, so I will let you know later on. Sorry, Alfie Pops. I'm gonna get back to your questions later. I gotta get through these other people as well. Ninja042803. Yeah, you can feel free to ask your question either voice chat or on Discord or by text, whatever you prefer. Voice chat is obviously easier, but
Okay, so can you hear me okay?
yes. Hey. Hi.
So, according to Talon Plays, there was a proposal submitted for a B road which would lead from the A8 northbound into the town of Eagle Shore. However, this was not covered in our GSM. Do you know whether or not a proposal of that nature has been submitted?
Sorry, could you repeat which locations that
From the A8 northbound to the town of Eagle Shore.
Okay, so does anyone know where the A8 is? Because I don't know. I don't keep track of roads. I don't get
So
it.
this is
I don't care about what the size of it. I want where is it?
Central City to Whitechapel.
Central City to Whitechapel. Okay. And where is Eagle Shore in relation to that?
Eagle Shore is north of the town of Spring Valley and west of Juba, and I think that's Jika, and the A8 currently goes northbound from Spring Valley and it turns west, and the road would extend from where it turns west and continue north.
I'm just gonna check my email in case maybe we missed this proposal, but wait, what's the numbering of this? Do you know the number of this road?
No, I just know that it's a B-class road.
Okay, there is a proposal for about an B879, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I think it's this one. I'm just trying to read here. I don't know. It doesn't look like it got into any of the GSMs. So yeah, I think this proposal was missed. Unfortunately, I apologize for that. So I would just suggest Talon resubmit this proposal again. Yeah, that's all I can really suggest at this point.
Okay, so also when we were talking about online content, that's essentially like a mods for the for OpenTTD, which can be downloaded through the game itself. So are you planning on including any mods to the OpenTTD server?
Yeah, as I said before, I think I'm going to stick with. I will be changing settings on the server, but I think I'll be sticking with vanilla server at least for now, because I'm not exactly familiar with how to install such online content on there. And as I said before, the documentation for the server is just abysmal. So I want to try to make this as least of a headache for myself and for others here. So
okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thanks for your questions. Yeah, gods, I guess I'll just quickly mention this, but I don't know if it's a big deal. But as I said, general rules will apply on the server, so that also means like warnings and bans could also apply as well. So I don't want to be, I obviously don't want the OpenTD server to become this sort of bastion of bad behavior, because I know, and I've seen that sort of thing happen before. So yeah. Okay, cool. Next up is, okay, I think okay, Grumpy Goomba, what is your question? Is he in Discord? I don't see him. Yeah, Grumpy Goomba, please PM your question. If you PM it in game, it'll show up on the Twitch stream. And or you can send it in Discord as well. That works too. Grumpy Goomba, you are up next. Oh, Grumpy Goomba's question is, you mentioned on Discord that you were just considering streaming Jackbox again. Any news? Yeah, I do plan on doing that sometime again, at sometime soon. The question is when to do it, because I do know that people are busy. There's no specific weekend that might be good to do it, because last time we did it was during the Christmas break, or actually on New Year's Eve even. So that's definitely a time when people are usually not terribly busy. But during this time of year, I'm not sure when to do it. I could just specify a date and hope people will join in, but I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions of when would be a good date, please let me know now. Like, I still plan on streaming at least until into the month of April. So if you have a suggestion for a date that might work for many people, please let me know. MC Protocol has a question. Where is the MRT New World 4-year after video? I don't know. Do you mean the I don't know what video you're referring to, but there are the videos. There are the videos. Oh, here. There are the videos regarding the MRT lines, which I could redo as well, considering we only have the ones that when.
I think that's what he was asking, if you were ever going to make a
Okay.
after the GA.
Maybe. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, if I do those, it'd probably be closer toward the anniversary, so probably June, July-ish. It depends on how much time I have. It will be probably a lot more challenging to make those videos, because at least in the original videos, I only had staff on the server. So if you can probably imagine, I think Chief tried to do his video on the Western line, and it was a clusterfuck, because people were always in the way, people were trolling him, and yeah, there's also going to be like stuck mine carts and broken tracks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, yes, time. I said a bad word, and I said it, but the rule only says no excessive swearing, and in that case, I think that is an appropriate word to use. If you were there when Chief was doing that recording, I think you'd probably describe it like that. Otto, what would you like to comment about the time lapses?
That I've done recordings of time lapses myself multiple times past years. I can share my experiences of that with Chief if he wants to, or with anyone that would be recording time lapses.
Okay, well, I mean, I've done these as well before, so thanks for the offer. But I think it's mainly just the fact that because I'm the owner of the server, people will obviously just sort of gravitate toward me. So and gravitate to people like Chief too. So I think it's just the nature of that. Okay. Okay, I think I'm at the end of my list of people who would like to speak. So does anyone here's another call. And does anyone have any further questions, concerns, comments? Again, about the OpenTD server, about any topics that we've discussed so far. Unfortunately, Alfie has left. So actually, I'm going to and unfortunately, I can't scroll up to see his questions. So yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Serious questions.
Again, if you would like to speak, please PM me in-game on Discord voice channel or in Twitch chat. If you would like to say something. Okay. So last call. Otherwise, I'm gonna open it up to stupid questions and other shenanigans.
Why don't you just do the time lapses on beta, like when it's in private mode?
I could, maybe. But the thing is, I do want people to be in the videos because, again, this is not just about what's been built and what the lines are. It is about the community. It's just that, so it's fine to be in the videos if you want to ride the cart in the opposite direction, or be nearby in the shot. Then that's totally fine. It's just that when you have that many people, there's always going to be someone to just ruin the shot or ruin everyone's fun. So that's kind of the risk of it. So it's an option. Yeah, that is an option. But I'd still rather do it on the main server, to be honest. What Grumpy Goomba says, Saturdays are usually pretty busy. Maybe over the next few weeks. I don't know. I don't know what that comment is referring to, Grumpy. So that's a very out of context comment. I don't understand what you're saying there. Okay. If there are no more serious questions or concerns or comments, I'm going to open it up to anything. And Yoshi is asking me to guess what's behind me. Let me take it. Sorry, yes? Hello?
I was going to say 20 questions.
Let me just take in some stupid questions first before I do that. Fred has a question. Sorry. Regarding. Oh, sorry, Goomba. I forgot about your previous question. Yeah, Saturdays are usually pretty busy, but that's usually when most people are on the server. So, yeah, definitely if I do it, I definitely won't do it midweek because nobody's on the server to do that. MC Protocol asks, what's the derivative of 2x to the third power? I don't remember calculus. I hate calculus. Fred says, if you're waiting for a waiter, does that make you the waiter? I think that's a deadlock situation because you're both waiting on each other, right? Yes, please just DM all your crap. Give me all your garbage. That is my role as server owner. I am here to deal with all your detritus. Time to make my move. What's your question?
Do you have a specific date for where the last backup of the server was? So, like, what time will the beta server be at?
You're asking what the world is based? How
old is the beta server world, basically?
Okay, I can look that up quickly. I think it was probably last month. I'm just trying to look up my. Hold on here. Backups. I think it was basically somewhere around February. I don't have an exact date, but I do remember taking a backup sometime in February. So that'd be around that time.
Neat. Thanks.
Okay, AP Red asks in Twitch chat, when do you plan on making my presidency of the MRT TNS fan club official? What is TNS? Tegan and Sarah. I do know that's a band. I mean, if you really want to be president of that fan club, AP, I'm not going to stop you. That's... geez, where is he? Nita now. When will the taco line be opened? Never, because that's a pretty bad name for an MRT line, in my opinion. Grumpy Goomba asks, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Maybe that woodchuck should go check himself. Let's see here. Kitty has a question. He's PM'd me in Discord. It must be an important question. What is your question, Kitty?
My question is, what's your opinion of the Supreme Court's decision in Bush v. Gore after the 2000 presidential election?
Can you remind me of what Bush v. Gore is?
Bush's campaign sued Gore's campaign over the Florida recount because the vote in Florida was very close, and they were doing a manual recount of the votes, and they wanted to stop that recount, and Bush ended up winning Florida by just over 500 votes, and that put him just over the number of electoral votes required to become president of the United States.
I think it's a reflection of how broken not just the U.S. electoral system is and the college, but also the justice system. So, yeah.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay. Geez, these questions are getting more surreal over time. Skelly is apparently forwarding me a serious question from Chimpy regarding OpenTD. What is the questions, Mr. Skelly?
About if there would be a separate channel within Discord for OpenTTD.
That's a good idea. Yeah, sure, probably. Yeah. Yes, there will be a separate channel probably for that. Okay, still looking around for questions. No, Skelly, I'm not going to do that derivative. I hate calculus, as I said. Woo Rich asks, what are the 7 diatomic elements? I also don't like chemistry, or I don't remember anything about chemistry, so. Needon says, look what I said in general, please. In-game, I mean. What do you mean by in-game? I did see your question about the tackle line. It's kind of weird seeing all, like, I have to read Twitch chat and Discord and the in-game. It's like being attacked all 3 sides. Oh. Mike24 Dude asks, do they have OpenTD for Windows 10? I have Windows 10 and I was able to run OpenTDD just fine. I will comment though that because OpenTDD is an older game, I wasn't able to capture the window for streaming. But considering most people won't be streaming, that's probably not going to be an issue. So, yeah, just download the Windows 7 version, Mike, and you should be able to get it. Frankly, I'm surprised most people haven't played OpenTDD before because it's like the original, like when I was a kid, that was the game I wanted so badly because it had buses, it had trains, and you ran them and you made the money. So, and you made the switches and the signals and the stations and everything else.
Probably because it's not on Steam or one of those platforms.
Yeah, this,
It also has a learning curve to it.
okay. Niden asks, "Hi, when will MRT Yoshi Kart start?" Is that a thing that Yoshi can answer?
Nope.
There's your answer. Niden. There is your answer. Niden NL also asks, "When will /nuke be allowed for duchies?"
No.
I didn't
If
know.
I'm Luke, you're not allowed /Luke.
I wasn't aware that the Netherlands really was so trigger happy on those nuclear missiles, but okay. Yeah, you thought North Korea was a problem.
Aren't the Netherlands supposed to be like just go make your hoggle slugs or whatever you do?
Excuse me, I gotta.
It's the Swiss that's neutral. Yeah, if you want to be neutral, go to Switzerland.
MZ Protocol, we can barely hear you, just so you know. Okay, well, unless there are any other further... Okay, unless there are any further questions, I'm going to start playing 20 questions of Yoshi. And guess what the hell is behind me? So, last call for stupid and incessantly off-topic questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Robin?
So, if Tom Pears has the kitty cannon, and Dave has the Batman thing, and Chief has shot, that
What do I
is
have?
yours.
I was trying to find one, but I can't really use shock anymore because Chief. I still use
I'm
it
back.
sometimes. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it might be just kick and ban me because that's what I tend to be doing most of the time.
Just kicking people. That one wasn't me, but just kick people for going.
Maybe not kicking, banning people definitely because yeah, that's always fun.
I got a question for you, Frumple.
Yes. What is your question?
Okay, so if you take a toaster and take a freezer, now put the toaster in the freezer and start the toaster. Which one wins?
Define winning.
Okay, if you put, because like if the toaster gets warm, then the freezer hasn't done its job. But if the freezer gets warm, then the toaster hasn't done. Wait. The toaster gets warm, then the freezer hasn't done its job. And then if the freezer... Anyway, whatever. Does the toaster produce enough heat to actually warm up, or does the freezer actually win?
Does this actually have a proper answer, or is this one of those?
This is a question that I used to troll my CS prof this term, so...
I see. Well, let's see. I've actually had some trouble with my fridge lately. I do know that there's a defrost heater in the freezer. And it does kick in when the freezer is off. I don't know if that comes into play at all. Probably not.
The next question is just pick out of all the household appliances, if you just have them all fight, which one would win?
Okay. I'm just going to say the toaster actually, the toaster, where does it plug into in the freezer? How does that work? The freezer can't win because there has to be the plug. I guess you could close the door and have the plug sort of sticking out like that. So maybe. I'm confused. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so
you
I
said you wanted stupid questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. You delivered. I'm just looking back in game, just make sure I don't miss these. Rurich asks, how many moles of oxygen are needed to burn 20.0 moles of C9H12O6?
No.
Please don't give me flashbacks of chemistry AP. Thank you. Next
I
up,
have a question.
Now let me go look at the other people's, but I don't miss them. Mike24 dude says, would you accept Kim Jong-un's marriage proposal? Why would I want to marry him? That's a better
Power
question.
and the fame.
No.
You're missing out.
No. Well, someone who's going to negotiate with Trump, hell no. So.
Anyway.
Okay.
I mean,
Next question.
You don't have to negotiate. You could just shoot off a bomb.
Fred the Time Lord has another series of questions. Oh boy.
No.
You're just prolonging the stream, Fred. I don't think people are getting their content in. Oh, here we go. 1. If you were a soup, what kind of soup would you be? Chicken noodle. 2. What if Danny DeVito came up to you and he said he was the trash man and asked if you wanted to eat him? I would say to tell him to go away and stay away from me. Okay, Robin, what's your question? Robin?
Spell 12. As in 12 place.
Sorry, the
Spell
Discord's
12.
cutting out. Spell 12. TWLVE.
No, 12 as 12th place.
TWELFTH.
Yay! F. I lost 10 people today. They all.
Don't understand what. I'm confused again. Jesus. Okay. Fred says, "What if said Danny DeVito told you to ride rail? Would that change your mind?" No. I don't. Is Danny DeVito your new spokesman, Fred? Because I think that's a bad choice. Okay, can we play the 20 questions game? Now I'm actually tired of these stupid questions. Okay.
Okay, 20
All right.
questions, go.
Yoshi,
So,
do I get...
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
So I would say someone keep track of the number of questions.
I got you. Go.
Don't break it. No, don't break it. Don't break it. What are you doing, man? Put that back.
Okay. Yoshi, do I get any sort of... Why is there outlines around people? What?
Because Chief is doing potions now.
Okay. Do I get any initial hints at all? Or any topics?
No hints.
Okay. Is it a person?
No.
Is it a place?
Not necessarily. Like, that's not what it. No, that's not going to help you.
Not necessarily. Okay. Is it an event that happened, like that last one there?
It is an event, technically.
I just got what it is.
It's an event, technically.
So yes, it is an event.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it an event that happened on the MRT server?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Skelly, you should look behind so we can see it on your stream.
Is it an event that happened in North America?
No.
Wow.
Well, no. Technically, this is
Technically, no.
No.
Technically, no. Okay, that's an interesting answer. Is it? This might be a stupid one. Is it an event that is it an event that happened? Wait, no. Is it an event that is based on historical, like it's not?
Yes.
Is it a fictional event? Basically?
Yes. Yes.
So it's not. So it's not. Is it a?
Well,
is it fictional or not?
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's fictional, but it's based on a real event. Does that make sense?
It sounds like a movie or something, but like based on true events from whatever. Is it based on a mode of transportation?
Partially. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to break away from the stream as this is not serious. If you want to continue, you can continue watching this on the Twitch of Frumple, http://twitch.tv/Frumple. Those of you in box will be returning to regular programming now. Those of you on MRT News channel, the MRT News reports will be airing at 9 o'clock Eastern Time tonight for a summary of the GSM. Thank you for watching MRT News channel.